Well, if you fish, chances are you've experienced a situation where your favorite lure is either no longer produced or has become very, very hard to find. One of my favorite lures is a short arm Colorado blade spinnerbait. Well, I had a company that used to make these, and they actually made them here in Kentucky, and I bought hundreds of these jokers. Unfortunately, they're out of business. So today what we're gonna do is I'm gonna build a short arm spinnerbait perfect for these lakes like Cumberland, Dale Hollow, Laurel Lake that have smallmouth, crystal clear water. This is a perfect lure choice, probably my favorite. All this material, there's several places you can go. I go to a place called Lure Parts Online. You can literally build any spinnerbait you want. Here's the bait we're gonna try to make. I'm gonna make a skirt color that in a tequila sunrise. That's a little bit of purple, a little bit of pink, a little bit of black and blue. I'm gonna make that skirt first and show you exactly how to do that. So typically these skirt combinations are 40 strand skirts. So that means I wanna have 40 strands on this lure. Well, if you buy skirting material, they'll come in a package like this. There's 10 of these in here and each one has 20 strands. So what you want to do when you're building a skirt is take whichever color you're going to use the most of and put it down first. So that's 20 strands of metallic purple. Now I'm going to go with a pink color. I'm going to use half of this. Put that down. I'm going to go with somewhere close to 5, 6 strands of black metal flake with blue in it. And I'm going to add just a little bit more purple. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just take a lid of a marker. I'm going to put one of these skirt collars right here on this. Then I'll fold this up like a little burrito and run it down in here and then slide the skirt collar off on it. All right, now, here's what I've got. I've got my skirt collar right there in the middle of my skirt. You just want to roll that down, kind of toward the middle. Now it's time to free these tops and bottoms because as you see, these skirts are still connected. That would not make for a very pretty presentation. So you just need to grab you a pair of sharp scissors and just cut the ends. I'll trim it to the exact length later on, but this frees the skirt out. There you go. This skirt is ready to go on my spinnerbait when I'm done. So after you get that done, the next thing I'm gonna do is show you the actual wire and head on this spinnerbait. Now, this is a 3/8 ounce spinnerbait. I'm also gonna make some halves here later on. The number one thing on a really good quality spinnerbait is obviously the hook. This is what you're gonna have in contact with the fish. You want a really good hook, and then the next thing is a really high quality swivel. My objective here is to make this spinnerbait give the most thump with the absolute slowest retrieve. Now you can see these spinnerbaits here that I buy. These have the exact same swivels, they're just a different color. Look how this blade, how free this blade is. And you're like, well, how important is that? Well, if you want to retrieve the lure through the water as slow as you possibly can and just get that thump, 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 thump on the end of your rod tip, this is what you want, a really high quality swivel. So I've got my arm here. You'll notice when I bought this spinnerbait, I couldn't buy them on a short arm. But that's okay because these wires are made to be cut and bent. So you can see a major difference in the length of this arm and this spinnerbait. The next thing is the gauge of the wire. This is a little bit lighter than what I would throw on a 1/2 ounce. This is like 0.32, and I usually throw a 0.35 to a 0.38 on a heavier weighted, bigger blade. So right now we're gonna put a number 5 Colorado blade. This is a black nickel. These swivels actually come with the split rings already on them, so I need to take this split ring and put a blade on the split ring. There we go. Now look at that blade. See how easily that thing is spinning? That's what we're looking for. So now, a couple things about a short arm spinnerbait. A short arm spinnerbait works extremely well because it makes a little bit smaller profile in the water, maximum thump at a slow retrieve speed, and the next thing, you see where this hook, where this thing is spinning, proximity to the hook, a fish comes up and hits that blade, it almost can't hardly avoid not hitting the hook. It's right there. So I'm gonna shorten this arm. So what I need to do now is to measure this, and on this one here, it's actually about 1.75 inches. Now remember, I also have to put this bend in there, so when I cut it, I'm gonna cut it at a full 2 inches, and then give it a twist. And once I get it to that point right there, I need to get my split ring pliers back out and close it up. Now, the blade can't come off. It's on there. It spins very nice and easy. Now it's time to add a skirt. Showed you the skirts that I like. My dark colors, I want on the back. If you've looked at any bait fish, it'll have dark on the top, lighter colors on the belly. Put my spinnerbait trailers and jig trailers on there the same way. You can spin this and make that color correction once it's on. Slide this up over the top. It's got a little holder in there. Adjust your skirt out. Now it looks like it may need just a little bit of trim. Even it up, make it pretty. There you go. Now I have the same short arm spinnerbait that I've been having trouble finding with the same high quality swivels, same size blade, same length of arm, high quality hook, and the skirt color that I like to throw best. A lot of times I'll run a trailer. I like the darker colors. Of course, we're night fishing, so that bait there is now ready to go fishing. Well, Daryl, as you well know, I love the nighttime smallmouth fish. I love to throw a spinnerbait, especially when we got a little breeze like we do tonight. You love the spinnerbait fish too.
Yes, I do, Chad.
So I was like, you know what? I am going to make me some spinnerbaits. So I made a couple for us to throw tonight. Hopefully, with this wind coming in here on Cumberland, we can get a good nighttime bite going.
Sometimes they will cooperate and sometimes they don't. So we're going to find out what they're going to do tonight.
Some nights you can't go wrong with the spinnerbait, and some nights you can't get them to touch it.
When they're not hitting a spinnerbait, you can forget it. You can't make them, even though sometimes we're going to say, we are going to make them hit that spinnerbait tonight. Sometimes they'll just say no. No, thank you.
But I'll tell you what, some of the best nights I've ever had is on a reaction bite on a spinnerbait. Yes. I mean, that's if you're going to catch big fish, big numbers, and they want to chase a bait, you can't go wrong with a short arm spinnerbait.
You're right.
We're going to run up the lake and get started to fish our way back and see what we can't get.
Let's go.
Daryl, this is our first point here. It seems like we're sitting out here in the middle, but you fish a lot like me. You like keeping this boat out in 30 feet or so and casting into them, don't you?
Yeah, I want that spinnerbait to be down at least 20. The boat usually needs to be sitting maybe 40 or 50, depending on how it falls off, and just keep the spinnerbait blade turning a little bit right off of the bottom if you can.
Oh, here we go.
Fish on.
Well, look at that little joker. We got a smallmouth on. Boy, he inhaled that spinnerbait. I don't know how a fish that size can hit that hard. So when that bait's coming to the water and they decide that they're gonna eat it,
they'll jump on it.
That fish here ain't 13 inches long, but when he hit that, he about took that rod out of my hand. See if we can't catch another one out here on this point.
There he is, fish on.
You got him? Oh, got him in there. There you go.
Ah, we finally found one.
There you go. A little bit nicer fish than what I just caught.
Yeah, nothing to write home about, but that's what we're looking for right there. Thank you, little boy.
There we go. Well, there he goes.
Quick release.
Quick release. Man, I didn't get a good hook set on him because he about knocked the rod out of my hand. There we go. This is a little bitty joker. I don't even know how to hook such a small fish. Look at that, we've got a spot. This ain't even a smallie. Spotted bass. Decided he wanted a little bit of that spinnerbait action. Well, Daryl, tell you what, we got soaking wet. And we got in a lightning storm, but it's not exactly what our plans were. We hope to come down here to Cumberland and stack them on a spinnerbait. We caught a couple, but we don't get to dictate the weather, do we?
Tough night, and they didn't want no part of that spinnerbait that you made. Didn't want no part of it.
You know what? We'll try it again.
We'll do it, brother.